Hello and welcome to day 2 of our Tour de Yorkshire, the Catterick Caravans sponsored trip around Yorkshire to celebrate the Tour de France visiting the county.
Leaving from York's Knavesmire around 9 o'clock, the race will pass Clifford's Tower and York Minster before leaving on the A59 towards Knaresborough.
Knaresborough, just outside Harrogate, is a great town to base yourself to watch the Tour de France. The town itself is very historic. It's got a medieval castle and is set on a dramatic ravine crossing the River Nid.
Soon after 11 AM, the route will pass over the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway. Around here, the route will be alive with community spirit and the home of the Brontes. Leaving Haworth towards Oxenhope, the route turns left off Main Street down towards Lower Lath Reservoir. Coming down Reservoir Road just outside Haworth and Stamp.
This is one of our most highly recommended spots to watch the Tour de France. Hundreds of riders will sprint across the dam and you'll be able to see them for a good half a mile with a fantastic backdrop behind for photography.
Around 11:30, the race then climbs up the hill towards Oxenhope, over the moors to Hebden Bridge.
Unlike this poor chap, the Sangyong lunar outfit was making light work of the West Yorkshire hills.
Hebden Bridge is full of quaint cafes and beautiful little shops, although it's sure to be rammed here, so get here early to find a good spot.
The organisers must have been feeling quite sadistic because just outside Hebden Bridge is Britain's longest continuous hill and the riders will cycle up 968 feet in 5.5 miles.
From here, the riders will have it slightly easier as the route flattens out over moorland before approaching Blackstone Edge Reservoir and taking a left towards Ripponden.
Shortly after 12:30, the peloton will skirt around Huddersfield and head through Holme Firth, Holme Bridge, Holme and then Holme Moss, by which point you'll be completely homesick.
Here, the first rider to make it up the 14% incline, over 500 metres above sea level, will be crowned King of the Mountain for the Holme Moss stage and earn himself a red polka dot jersey.
The ride up Holme Moss will be one of the most gruelling on the first 2 days of the tour. But the views from the top are absolutely fantastic and are worth stopping off at the side of the road in one of the many laybys.
After Holme Moss, the race continues down the hill and on towards Sheffield. By this point in the route, the peloton will be a lot more spread out, so you get your money's worth if you stay in one place.
As the route leaves the moors, you'll have about 30 minutes of action as the peloton passes. The route briefly dips into the Peak District in Derbyshire before bearing east towards Sheffield.
The approach to Sheffield is full of resurfaced roads and steep hills, so you're bound to get some really good sprint action the whole way.
The race ends around 2:45 PM in Sheffield with the grand finale. Meanwhile, we've got to drive back to Ebor Caravans near York to redeliver the Sangyong and lunar outfit. So we've completed an almost 300-mile tow test round North Yorkshire and West Yorkshire. We've taken in motorways, A roads, B roads, C roads and even D roads, and this car has performed really well with everything we've thrown at it. The engine pulls fantastically and we've been up inclines as steep as 1 in 8 with a 1.5 ton Caravan behind. It's really easy to drive, very comfortable, surprisingly refined for a new car coming out of Korea, and of course it comes with a fantastic 5-year warranty, which has limitless miles, so you could go do 100,000, 150,000 miles and you'll still be covered.